Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the WoW Collector. Appreciate you guys being here. We're going to be in Blackwing Lair. It's my first attempt on my hunter, and I hope you like some of the new graphics we've added. Trying to spice up the channel a little bit, make it look a lot more professional. I'm doing a lot of things in terms of tabulating stats on drops and things like that, and I want to start showcasing them in better ways. And spent about 2 hours today trying to mess around with Photoshop when in actuality I could just toss in the titles over the text, or over the video, excuse me, so kind of excited. Here's the first boss. You do want to dismiss your pet because it does glitch out the boss. I think I should have dismissed him prior to coming in here. Right here, you're supposed to be able to click on this orb and mind control the raid boss to destroy those eggs. Obviously, it's not working, so then this ensues. Yeah, he fears you. I don't believe he stuns you, but it's a lot of CC. There's a stun. There we go. About 5 seconds long. You won't die this way necessarily, but the only way you can really beat this boss is by mind controlling him. All the eggs that are scattered throughout the room, you're supposed to use him and destroy those eggs. Obviously, it's not working here, and I think it's because I had my pet activated when I was in this room. Um, if this ever happens and you've tried a few times and he's feared you, just go ahead and kill the boss. That's the best way to reset this fight. That's a quick kill. Then he does that. And when you respawn, you're right back at the entrance again. Now see, my pet isn't out here, so everything worked well. So I want to say that's the thing that solved this. So then again, you kill the guys, and when you click on this orb, it should be instantaneous like that. So he has an ability, it's destroy egg. It's a second ability, and there's no longer on a cast time. It used to be you'd push it, and I want to say it's 4 to 5 seconds, or it'd take him 5 seconds to kill each egg. Now you just spam two, wait for that global cooldown to finish, and you just keep spamming it. Overall, it's a lot easier than it used to be. This used to be a really difficult fight because all the ads would come and actually attack the boss and lower his health. All kinds of different ways to meander around that, but it was rough before. Now it's pretty easy, which I like this change. I think they still honor what the raid was about, but at the same time, it gives you an opportunity to solo it and solo it easily. I wish they'd make this change in the Karazhan chess room. I feel like that's a place that's ripe for something like this. Just removing that cooldown from switching characters, just like they did here, I think would really make things simpler and just more accessible for everybody. This is the first run, so we'll take a look at what gear I get. And after a few runs, I'm going to start posting the gear at the beginning, just kind of like a tabulation of all the things I've collected in my runs to sort of, you know, see if there's any trends we can notice or anything like that. Once the eggs are done, stage 2 starts, and then now you just kill them. The ads that ran in run away, and let's see what loot we got here. So there are three things that drop here. It's the Untamed Hatchling, the pet. There's a sword and bracers. It looks like I did get the pet. I want to say I got the bracers, but I did not get the sword. Um, More Warlock drops off this boss than anything else, if I remember correctly. We're going to start really exploring what each class drops and kind of helping people to farm a little bit more efficiently. We do run to the next boss. He says a little quick dialogue, and the goblins that are surrounding him take off. It seems to be a trend in this raid. It's every time you get to a boss, the NPCs that are kind of holding them against their will kind of run off. Um, Let him finish up his dialogue here. He does drop the Dragonstalker's belt, which is the tier piece for the hunter. I want to say there's another piece too. Um, you have to wait till he finishes his speech. Now, when this was current, yeah, it's the blade again. It's that same blade that keeps dropping. When this was current, this was the DPS check for the rest of the raid. Is if your DPS couldn't out damage this boss, you're going to have a hard time with the rest of the raid. Um, it's a great opportunity to sprint here. It's just a really open chasm for you to meander through. So this area here, you're supposed to be able to get these guys to kick you up over that ledge. We'll get there in a minute up there, which skips a lot of this next annoying section. I tried. As you can see, I wasn't too successful. Probably not doing it correctly, but I will find out a way to solve this. I'm hope. See how you bounce there? You're supposed to continue to be juggled, and I don't know if I'm facing the wrong way or or if I'm just jump. Yeah, I am jumping here. I'm hoping I could have got juggled. They're supposed to knock you up somehow or another. Um, This got kind of old pretty fast. So once I got to a point, I said, you know what? They do drop some Mogs in here off the trash. So it is the Cloak of Draconic Might. So I figured, you know what? Me investigate this a little bit further and hope those Mogs drop in the meantime. This part is pretty rough. Stealth classes are awesome, Druid and the Rogue, because you can sneak past all of this. Really helpful trick. Hunter cannot. I haven't figured out a better way to do this in all honesty, just by putting your head down and running through it. I do try using disengage, just kind of jump over what I can. But I just think leaving it on auto run and just running to the end is probably the most efficient way to do this. So it's just two large corridors of this. I will skip past most of this, but I mean, as you can see, every one of those little pylons that's up drops this plume of mist, and that slows you down. I want to say it's 90% slow. It's pretty substantial. But if you are a stealth class, you can stealth your way past this. Most of it, if not all of it. Just depends on how good you are at being stealthy. So you make this little U-turn up here and you go back the other direction. We'll kind of skip ahead to the next boss. He's at the end of this corridor. He does drop a pet. A lot of these bosses, this is where, you know, raiding with leashes kind of started. So let's see what we got here. He drops quite a few pieces. I want to say 3 or 4 pieces for the hunter. And I'll do a better job from now on kind of highlighting things. It looks like I did get the pet, but I don't think I got anything else. Yeah. Oh, wait. I'll have to go back there and check. I want to say those shoulders might be for the hunter, actually. And we'll do a status check next time we come in here, just kind of give a better view. So, in here, I just wanted to get the any Mogs that dropped, and also, too, I want to say that just killing stuff does provide gold, and I am gathering up cloth for when I start my professions, and you do get random greens. You're going to find another thing you get in here is called hourglass sand. What that does is when we used to fight the two-headed dog in here, what would happen is after a certain point he would CC you and turn you into stone. So if you use this sand prior to that, it would alleviate that buff or debuff being put on you. Here's another boss. He kind of wanders the corridor. Lots of items drop from him. Didn't get much. I got a lot of leather this run. More trash mobs. They're in great packs, especially for a hunter. Did get a really sweet bow there. That was a nice pickup. Was happy about that. One of the things is if you look at TSM, if you do have that add-on for sales, if it ever says amount sold 0.04, that usually means it doesn't sell very well. Kind of in my experience, I try to sell those Mogs a lot and haven't gotten much for them. So for those, I either just equip them or vendor them. Most of what drops in here I vendor. Just clear up this last bit of trash. These are the same vials that you can also find in Blackwing Descent, which has the same end boss as this raid does. Although it's, you know, a Cataclysm raid, it still has a lot of similarities, just with a little bit more polish. I am excited. I'm also going to be doing a Molten Core video pretty soon here. And I think they spruced up the graphics in there. I don't know if it's from when they made that a 40-man raid just for the anniversary, but a lot of the fire trash in there has some really cool fire particles. It's another one of these dragons. There's really 3 of them, but they do find themselves in different places. I also got a mining and a couple engineering patterns in here in Molten Core, so I felt like that was telling me my hunter should be an engineer. I've always made him my bag maker with tailoring, but I don't know how I feel. I might actually go engineering and tailoring, and then just use other tunes for the mining. I don't know. I'm still debating. It is nice having him as mining and herb, just because if I go anywhere, I got the Draconic Avenger. That's such a good pickup from there. I do think going mining or herbing is great for him because he's my main tune. It's easier to farm stuff when I'm out and about, especially in the newer areas, because he's usually the one who gets there first. Just picking that new content sound, it's kind of nice. Chromaggus is the boss. He's the one who used to turn us. I want to say bronze, which is a 10-minute basically return snow for 10 minutes, and then you wipe. Back in, I want to say Cataclysm or Lich King, this was pretty rough, and I remember being in here and getting stuck. That's the Draconic I just got. It looks kind of nice, especially if you duel that with warriors. Um, so here's the final boss, is Nefarion. And if you notice, this is actually redone as the entrance in Blackwing Descent as well. Um, so this part, he summons a bunch of Dragonflight. You kill all of them. They come in one at a time. So if you have AoE, it's great. If not, it's going to take a little bit of time. It's not difficult by any stretch of the imagination, but that's a lot of corpses. So the final boss of Blackwing Lair for my first attempt is Nefarion. Pretty cool fight here. It's over really quickly. Let's see what I get. I don't think I got that much, in all honesty. I did get the quest, and every time I come in here and I haven't done the quest, it just keeps dropping it in my bag. So I figured I should finally just do the dang thing and get it out of my quest log. So that's what we're gonna do. Appreciate you guys watching the video. We're sitting at 15.15% for my first run in Blackwing Lair. There's a lot that drops. Obviously, I got bigger bags as well, just because I was tired of running back and running out of room. Appreciate you guys watching. Happy collecting in World of Warcraft. Check out the WoW Collector on YouTube, Twitch, and on Twitter for more information. Thanks.